In the story of America, there are many silent partners, architects of our character, our culture, our very soul. And in all of these partners, perhaps none is more elegant, more resilient, and more quintessentially American than the horse America made. This is the American Saddlebred, a breed born of necessity on the rough colonial frontier, tested on the blood-soaked battlefields of our most divisive war, and refined into the peacock of the show ring. From the humble working horse to the dazzling champion, its history is a mirror of our own, a journey from rugged utility to a celebration of pure art. This is more than a story of a horse. It's a story of American spirit, a legacy of grace, power, and an unshakable integrity that has endured for centuries. Our story begins in the 1600s. English colonists brought with them robust gaited horses, the Galloway hobby, perfect for the long distance and unforgiving terrain of the New World. Through selective breeding, they developed the Narragansett Pacer, America's first horse breed, prized for its smooth, comfortable ride. Legend even holds that Paul Revere's famous mount was a Narragansett Pacer. The demand was clear, a horse that could carry a rider for miles in comfort, possessing both stamina and a calm, reliable disposition. But a new infusion of blood was needed. The importation of the English thoroughbred in the 1700s, known for its size, speed, and refinement, began a new chapter. The union of the powerful thoroughbred and the all-resilient pacer created what became known as the American horse, a versatile, all-purpose animal designed for greatness. As the nation grew, so did its horses. In Kentucky, these American horses were further refined, taking on a new, more distinctive identity, the Kentucky Saddler. When the storm clouds of the Civil War gathered, the Saddler proved its mettle not in the show ring, but on the battlefield. Known for its incredible bravery, stamina, and smooth gaits, the Saddler became the mount of choice for high-ranking officers on both sides. General Robert E. Lee rode his gray Saddler Traveler. Ulysses S. Grant mounted his Cincinnati. Even Stonewall Jackson was carried by his Little Sorrel. These horses endured legendary feats of endurance, a testament to the hardiness and courage of the breed. And it was General Grant's famous order, allowing Confederate soldiers to keep their privately owned horses after the surrender at Appomattox, that helped ensure the breed's survival. The end of the Civil War marked a new beginning. With demand for the working horse waning, breeders turned their attention to sport and pleasure. Early horse shows, like the one recorded in Lexington in 1816, began to flourish, providing a new stage for the Kentucky Saddler to shine. Flashier, more animated gaits were prized, and in 1891 the American Saddle Horse Breeders Association was formed, the first official registry for an American-developed horse breed. The Saddlebred as we know it was born. The American Saddlebred was not merely a participant in the American horse show industry, it was one of its most critical architects. As the country transitioned from a frontier-based agrarian society to a more industrialized one, the Saddlebred's purpose shifted from a versatile workhorse to a dazzling performer. This evolution transformed local gatherings into formalized competitions, shaping the rules, divisions, and prestige that defines the modern horse show. Following the Civil War, the demand for horses for cavalry and general transportation diminished significantly. Breeders, particularly in Kentucky and Missouri, turned their attention to showcasing the breed's natural athletic ability and temperament. They began selectively breeding for animation, elegance, and the refined high-stepping gaits that would become the hallmark of the show ring. The formation of the American Saddle Horse and Breeders Association in 1891 was a landmark moment for the industry. As the first ever breed association in the United States, it set the precedent for organized competition and established formal standards for the breed. This step institutionalized the horse show format and gave a new sense of purpose to breeders and trainers. Intense competition and state pride, especially between Kentucky and Missouri breeders, fueled a race for recognition and prestige. This spirited rivalry drove the development of the finest show horses, drawing enthusiastic crowds to early exhibitions and national events like the St. Louis Fair, which featured the first national show horse in 1856. The The Saddlebred's unique genetic ability to perform 5 different gaits, the walk, trot, canter, slow gait, and rack, led to the creation of specific show divisions. The 5-gaited class became the headlining event at most shows, and the breed's performance style set the standard for English disciplines. The Saddlebred's conformation and natural elegance, including upright head carriage, long neck, and high tail set, are ideally suited for the saddle seat discipline, which emphasizes the horse's dramatic animation. This distinctive presentation established the mold for what a show horse should look like, influencing other breeds and divisions.
Stake are Frank Bradshaw riding a Tennessee-bred mare Easter Parade, Earl Tita, former manager of Maryland Farm, riding Wing Commander.
Legendary saddlebreds, such as the 6-time World Grand Champion Wing Commander, became national sensations in the mid-20th century. These equine stars captivated public imagination and helped grow the popularity of the horse shows across the country. The American Saddlebred is known for its ability to perform 5 distinct gaits, a trait not all saddlebreds possess genetically. The 5 gaits include the 3 standard gaits found in most horse breeds, the walk, trot, and canter, plus 2 ambling gaits, the slow gait and the rack. The walk is a 4-beat collected and energetic movement. Each foot lands on the ground separately with an even cadence. The sequence of footfalls is left hind, left 4, right hind, right 4. The trot is a 2-beat diagonal gait. The horse moves diagonal pairs of legs forward at the same time, with a moment of suspension between each beat. In the show ring, the Saddlebred's trot is brilliant and animated, with high knee and hock action. This is completely natural and genetic. The canter is a 3-beat gait. The horse moves with a rhythmic, rocking horse motion. 5-gaited saddlebreds are trained to perform a slow, collected, and rhythmic canter. There are 2 specialized 4-beat gaits that distinguish the 5-gaited saddlebred. They are performed with great smoothness for the rider. The slow gait is a 4-beat ambling gait. Historically, this gait could be a running walk, stepping pace, or foxtrot, but the modern show horse typically performs a stepping pace. The lateral pairs of legs, example, right hind and right 4, leave the ground together, but the hind foot lands just before the forefoot. This breaks up the movement into 4 distinct yet unevenly timed beats. It's performed with great restraint and collection. This gait can be described as 1, 2, 3, 4, or stepping pace, due to the uneven timing of the lateral footfalls. Then there's the rack, a 4-beat lateral gait, much faster and more animated than the slow gait. It is a single foot gait with each foot striking the ground at equal separate intervals. The speed is increased from the slow gait, and the animation and drive from the hocks becomes more unrestrained. The horse performs this gait with high knee and hock action. Footfalls are evenly timed, creating a smooth paka 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 sound on a hard surface. Can you tell I couldn't do that with a straight face? A trained saddlebred can perform the rack at speeds approaching a gallop. Not all saddlebreds are capable of performing the 2 extra ambling gaits. The ability is a genetic trait that must be selected for in breeding and developed through specific training. A 5-gaited saddlebred has the genetic potential for ambling gaits, and intensive training refines and enhances these movements for the show ring. The genetic basis for these 5-gaited horses is primarily linked to a single powerful gene mutation, but other genetic and environmental factors can also contribute. The ability to perform the extra gaits is not innate to all saddlebreds and must be selected for in breeding and developing through training. A mutation in the DMRT3 gene, often called the gatekeeper gene, is the primary genetic factor influencing gaitedness in many horse breeds, including the American Saddlebred. A single base pair change within the DMRT3 gene alters the protein it encodes, which in turn affects the horse's ability to coordinate leg movements at different speeds. This mutation allows horses to perform intermediate 4-beat gaits like the rack and slow gait without breaking into a canter or gallop. Essentially, the gene is critical for coordinating the limbs' movements through its role in the spinal cord's neural circuits. These horses are basically natural cyberpunks.
Wake the fuck up, samurai. We have a city to burn.
For breeders, the relationship between genetics and gait is crucial. They use 2 main strategies. 3-gaited horses are bred for brilliant, elevated, 2-beat diagonal trot action. Some may not carry the DMRT3 mutation, while others may have it but are trained to perform the only 3 standard gaits. Five-gaited horses are selectively bred from lines with the genetic predisposition for ambling gaits. Even with the right genetics, a specialized trainer is required to encourage the horse to perform the distinct 4-beat slow gait and rack with the required collection and speed for competition. The presence of this mutation provides the genetic blueprint for a five-gaited saddlebred, but its expression is not automatic. The refined, powerful movement seen in the show ring is the product of centuries of selective breeding and intensive training, creating a beautiful and complex genetic and athletic marvel. But the world was not at peace for long. World War I brought a tragic, widespread demand for all types of horses. The show industry was devastated as millions of horses were shipped overseas. The images are haunting. Beautiful, courageous animals sent to unimaginable terror. Many were lost forever, sold for slaughter or hard labor. It was a devastating loss, but the resilient breed survived. Following World War II, the American Saddlebred made a spectacular comeback. The horse show world was revived with a renewed sense of purpose and celebration. Icons like 6-time world's grand champion Wing Commander became national celebrities, symbolizing a new era of elegance and prosperity. This period saw the Saddlebred cement its reputation as the ultimate show horse, a true peacock commanding attention. Perhaps the most remarkable aspect of the American Saddlebred is its enduring integrity. For over a century, the breed's distinctive type has remained virtually unchanged. A show horse from the 1920s shares the same unmistakable high-headed posture and powerful animation as champions of today. This consistency is a testament to dedicated breeders who have preserved the bloodlines and the unique characteristics that define the Saddlebred. While known for its show ring glamour, the Saddlebred is no one-trick pony. Its versatility, a remnant of its working horse past, allows it to excel across a multitude of disciplines, from dressage to endurance riding, even to the hunter under saddle and Western pleasure rings. It remains a family horse, a pleasure mount, and a competitive athlete, proving that its beauty and brains are truly timeless. From the muddy Colonial tracks to the gleaming horse show arena, the American Saddlebred has carried its legacy with unwavering poise. It is a living piece of American history, a story of grit and grace told through the powerful rhythmic motion in its 5 gaits. The horse America made is not just a breed. It's a symbol of our journey, a tribute to our enduring character, and a magnificent, breathing work of art that gallops into the future. The footfalls are evenly timed, creating a smooth paka 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 sound.